Ian Garry and Khamzat Chimaev got into a heated backstage dispute after Arman Tsarukyan's win at UFC Qatar. Things began calmly when Garry approached Arman to congratulate him, but the moment Khamzat stepped in, the situation escalated. Chimaev pushed Garry, and the two exchanged sharp words as tension rose quickly.
Good job tonight. Ready to go?
No, I'm on Arman.
Oh, we're not going to fight. He's good. He's a tough. Don't worry. What's wrong? Whoa.
Come on, relax, boys.
Dude, that's just childish. You're meant to be a champion of this sport. You're meant to be a champion of this sport. Your friend just won. Don't ruin this victory. Arman, congratulations. Hey, what's up, guys?
Khamzat later explained that he reacted the way he did because respect is extremely important to him. He said he doesn't like when someone comes up behind him or approaches in a way that feels disrespectful. According to Chimaev, Garry's approach didn't sit right with him in that moment, which is what triggered the confrontation.
That's somebody else, that's respectful. Don't punch somebody behind, like.
He punched you in the back?
Yeah, like they punching, like slapping my back, I had to respect. If you want to show respect, respectful, touch somebody. That's why I said, tell him to touch somebody, respect. That's it. He came like there to make some patch for him, that guy. Trying to be one of them, never gonna be one.
Ian Garry also shared his side of the incident and criticized how Chimaev behaved. After congratulating Arman, he walked over to greet Khamzat and asked about his return to competition. Instead of a friendly exchange, Garry says Chimaev responded aggressively, tried to shove him, and started verbally attacking him. Garry called it immature behavior for someone in a champion's position, saying there was no need for that kind of energy. He believes Khamzat was simply doing it for attention and promised that their issues are far from over and that he plans to address it properly in the future.
I went up to Tsarukyan. I congratulated him. I went up to Khamzat. I said, hey, champ, what's up? When are we going to see you back? He goes, I don't know, brother. Whenever. Smash. All right, cool. Sweet. Slaps me on the back. I'm like, all right, cool. Security guard gets in front of us. I'm like, we literally were just cool with each other. He's not going to fight me. And then that childish energy comes out. Yeah, f*** you, brother. F*** you. Tries to push me. I just turned around and went, you're meant to be a champion of this sport. You're a child. You're taking away from your friend's win over here. How about you calm down, slow down, and have a bit of respect for your friend over here rather than trying to steal the headlines. Do you want the honest truth? It's little energy. I need to show the world I'm tough. I need to show you're the champion of the world. No one needs to see you be tough. You don't need to have these anger management issues. Just be a man. Sorry. I'll get him one day. We're all going to try grab a hold of my legs. Born little. I'm not going to. Don't get me started.
Meanwhile, Ian Machado Garry also called out Islam Makhachev after beating Belal Muhammad at UFC Qatar. He claimed that if Belal couldn't take him down, then Islam wouldn't be able to either. Garry declared himself the best in the world and insisted that Islam has a responsibility to defend the belt against him. He said he'll fight Islam anywhere and that he won't let anyone stand in the way of his goals, promising to take the title and end Islam's run.
You can't stop me! He couldn't take me down, and Islam, he came to your camp, and he couldn't do it. So try to do it yourself. Bring that belt, bring that record, and I will see you wherever you want, my friend. All the best.
Islam Makhachev responded to Garry's win over Belal Muhammad by saying he wasn't surprised at all. He sees Garry as a talented young fighter on a strong streak and thinks the potential matchup could be interesting. While Garry may have shocked the UFC, Islam stayed composed and focused on whatever challenge comes next.
Вчера после победы Иан Гарри, тебе интересен этот соперник, он вызвал тебя на бой, на поединок, особенно с учетом того, что получится новая веха противостояния Дагестана с Ирландией.
Да, было бы интересно. Тоже хороший боец как раз. И на хорошей победной серии, и молодой. Думаю, получится интересно. Ну, посмотрим, если как он меня вчера не удивил. Если он удивил UFC, то, наверное, он будет следующим.
Ian Garry makes it clear that while he respects Islam Makhachev as the pound-for-pound king and reigning champion, he still sees Islam as the final obstacle standing between him and his ultimate goal. In Garry's view, the moment Islam steps into his division, the situation becomes personal. He believes he has the skill, momentum, and mentality to dethrone the champion and claims there is no alternative but for Islam to face him next. Garry argues that no contender in the division has taken on a deeper or tougher lineup than he has, and he's confident that Path has prepared him to take the belt from Makhachev.
Firstly, I want to say that I have nothing but respect for Islam Makhachev. Nothing. The guy's the pound-for-pound #1 in the world and the champion of my division. However, when you come into my division and you are the only thing that stops me, that is in the way of me achieving my dreams, I'm going to make sure that I punch a hole in your head. He has to fight me next. There is nobody that has fought a deeper division, that has fought the guys from top to bottom.
Islam Makhachev responds by noting that the welterweight division is packed with contenders, with 3 or 4 fighters currently in the mix for a title shot. He says the next challenger will become clear within the next 2 weeks, emphasizing how active the division has been. Multiple fighters earning big finishes, veterans clashing with rising prospects, and the landscape shifting quickly.
Кого ты видишь самым опасным соперником в полусреднем весе?
Ну вот на моем турнире дрались 2 ребят, оба выиграли бои досрочно, оба молодые, хорошо заканчивают бои. Но у нас сейчас дивизион, я думаю, самый активный, самый молодой. Вчера был хороший бой, бывший чемпион дрался с молодым парнем, и я думаю, у нас сейчас есть минимум 3-4 претендента. И в ближайшее время, наверное, уже недели 2, будет ясно, кто будет следующим претендентом.
Meanwhile, Ian Machado Garry reveals that he plans to train with Ilia Topuria as part of his preparation for a potential fight with Islam. He explains that he intends to work with his friends in Georgia to develop the tools needed to challenge the dominance of Russian and Dagestani fighters. Garry expresses full confidence that this approach will help him dethrone Islam and take over the welterweight spotlight.
I have already spoke to Ilia. I have already spoke to the guys at WOW. I would absolutely love to go back to Madrid, and I would love to look. Hey, when we speak about Georgia, Ilya, he can help me out a lot. You know what I mean? With my friends in Russia, or my friends in Georgia over here, we're going to stop the Russians from having their success. We're going to stop the Dagestanis from having that success, and we're going to shut him down, and we're going to take his head clean off his shoulders.
On another front, Henry Cejudo weighs in by declaring that the fight to make is Kamaru Usman versus Islam Makhachev, pitting the pound-for-pound leader against a former world champion who once ruled the division. Henry Cejudo said, "Kamaru Usman versus Islam Makhachev is officially the fight to make. Pound-for-pound king versus former pound-for-pound king." Ian Garry strongly disagrees. He dismisses any possibility of Islam fighting Kamaru Usman, arguing the matchup doesn't make sense for the reigning champion. Garry claims Islam shouldn't defend his title against a former great who's past his prime, insisting the belt should be defended against younger, more dangerous contenders, not someone he describes as a fighter without knees.
Do I think the champion of the world, the pound-for-pound, one of the pound-for-pound best in the world, should fight a has-been? Someone who used to be great but isn't great anymore? No. Where is he now in the rankings? Someone mentioned the rankings earlier on, 8 or 9. The last fight he had was against a guy who had like 7 losses in the UFC. No. Islam Makhachev is a phenomenal fighter, and he needs to fight one of the young up-and-coming contenders, not a has-been who has no knees. So that's it. End of.
Garry also criticizes Islam's entire team, calling the idea of an Usman matchup irrelevant. He accuses Khabib and his camp of deliberately searching for easier fights, insisting no fan wants to see Islam face Usman. In Garry's view, choosing a nearly retired, lower-ranked opponent is nothing more than Islam looking for a soft matchup to extend his winning streak to 17. Ian Garry said, "Khabib and his team are very smart at choosing fights. Kamaru Usman is effing irrelevant in the division. No fan wants to see Islam versus Kamaru. When you're pushing 40 years of age and ranked nearly 10 in the world, I think that's just Islam trying to get that 17th consecutive win against an easy opponent." Kamaru Usman emphasizes that a potential fight with Islam Makhachev would be driven purely by competition, not animosity. He notes that the two already push each other intensely in training without any tension, and bringing that dynamic into the octagon would make for a compelling matchup. Usman adds that if he were to land a significant strike during a real fight, he would avoid unnecessary follow-up shots, showing the level of respect he holds for Islam.
I've said it's no secret. I love Islam. And I'm close with all those guys over there, Habib and Juba and Usman and Umar. I like those guys. I really do. And also with Rizvan and Ali working with the mix, there's no animosity here. There's no bad blood, just competition. We do this for free in the gym every day. Now, for us to go out there and just entertain the masses, I love it. I think it would be great. Now, on fight week and fight night, we're staring at each other, knowing that we are going to have to punch each other. I think that feeling might change momentarily, but if I do hurt him and he's down and there's a follow-up shot to potentially put him away, that's the difference, is I won't take that shot.
Georges St-Pierre, however, offers Usman a different perspective. He advises him to consider retirement while he is still near his peak, pointing out that Usman is now in his late 30s. St-Pierre recalls asking him about his future plans, and when Usman expressed interest in making one more run, GSP encouraged him to go for it, while stressing the importance of finishing his career on a high note.
I was talking to Kamaru Usman. I know you were in New York for the UFC, and Kamaru, you know, I think he's late 30s, and I said, man, I've been there, done that. I said, man, you're gonna compete again? He's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go for one more stretch. I'm like, man, if you want one of my advice, Kamaru, because I like the guy. I said, like, do what you gotta do, get it out of your system, but get out on top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be the cherry on top. And no.
St-Pierre also reflects on the UFC 322 card, specifically Jack Della Maddalena's loss to Islam Makhachev. He says the defeat could either become a setback or a catalyst for improvement. According to GSP, losing a 5-round decision is often harder than being knocked out or submitted, because it clearly shows that the opponent was the better fighter that night. For JDM, this loss could fuel a stronger comeback or mark the beginning of a difficult stretch.
I think one thing is, for a fighter, that is harder to take when you lose than being knocked out or submit, is going into a decision but getting beat for 5 rounds and knowing that, man, you're far, like you didn't get clipped, you didn't make a mistake. You lose because the guy is just that much better than you. And that could be, for Jake, for example, could be a wake-up call, like, or it could be his downfall, or a wake-up call to make him rise, to the occasion, to realize, like, man, I need to work on this to get better. We'll see what's gonna happen.
On another note, Robert Whittaker weighs in with a bold opinion. He believes Islam Makhachev would defeat prime Georges St-Pierre. Whittaker argues that if the fight turned into a heavy scramble or wrestling-dominant battle, Islam's style is built for exactly those scenarios. He adds that once Islam takes an opponent down, they rarely get back up, drawing comparisons to Khamzat Chimaev's physical dominance. Whittaker suggests that while GSP excelled through a diverse MMA skill set, Islam thrives in relentless wrestling-based exchanges.
Prime GSP versus Islam Makhachev, who wins? What do you reckon, Rob?
Oh man, that's tricky.
At welterweight?
That's tricky, because GSP's got a good game to fight Makhachev. He's got a really good game. He's like a springy karate-esque fighter. I think Islam would get it done. I think.
All right.
Just because Islam, I think if the fight becomes a scramble off and a wrestle off, Islam's going to come out of it better, just because he's built for it. Just like Chimaev would do the same. Whereas GSP utilized the full toolbox of MMA. So he utilized his wrestling and his grappling to eventually stand back up and box your head off because you're worried about a takedown. Then he'll take you back down and do the same. Whereas Islam, he'll get you down and you ain't getting back up. sort of thing.
Yeah.
Dricus du Plessis also breaks down the Islam versus Jack Della Maddalena matchup, comparing it to his own preparation for Khamzat Chimaev. He highlights how both opponents bring a unique style that requires meticulous planning. Du Plessis says Russian-style wrestlers currently hold a strategic advantage, especially in control and pressure positions. While their style may not always be crowd-pleasing, it is undeniably effective and continues to produce champions.
Yeah, I mean, we called it last week, and I knew it was going to be a tough fight. It just seemed like Islam had an answer for every single thing JDM threw at him. You know, if you look at that fight, it kind of looked a lot like the fight with myself and Chimaev. You know, these guys have a style that needs to be figured out. And that's just the way the sport goes. We've seen this over the whole time period that the UFC has existed, that you go through eras of the game. And right now, these wrestlers, especially the Russian-style wrestlers, just have something above the rest when it comes to wrestling and being able to control the guy on the floor. Definitely not, you know, the entertainment that people necessarily want to see. But if that's how they want to win and that's how they win, then that's the way to do it. And I mean, they've proven very successful in that.
Du Plessis further notes that JDM displayed moments of brilliance, especially in the clinch, but his overall performance was too hesitant. He believes JDM held back at long range out of fear of takedowns, yet Islam still controlled the fight. He also credits Islam's team for targeting JDM's front leg, which played a crucial role in the champion's dominance. In his view, it was a completely commanding performance, one his team had anticipated.
Of course, with JDM, I do believe in terms of game plan, you know, he had some moments of brilliance when he got his shots off, especially in the clinch. I think he should have initiated the clinch a bit more, because when they are standing at range, he would wait and he would be very tentative to throw because he's scared of the takedown, but he gets taken down anyway. And then, of course, that heavy front leg of his, I think that was great by Islam's team to notice that and go, okay, let's kill that front leg. And they did a great job at that. So, I mean, great performance by Islam. I mean, a total dominant performance. And
Renato Moicano adds his perspective, saying JDM looked mentally overwhelmed, even on the verge of tears. He stresses that expecting a welterweight to face Islam on just one day's notice is unrealistic, no matter how skilled the fighter is. Moicano points out that every time Islam created space, he attacked submissions, and by the fifth attempt, JDM appeared mentally broken. He concludes that the fight was a showcase of Islam's elite mastery and a testament to the continued dominance of Khabib's camp.
No, and the problem is, like you say, Jack Della Maddalena, welterweight champion, months of training, and they want me to go over there and beat Islam in one day notice. Like, that's impossible, right? But I think you spot on what you say. Like, if you give Islam space, he gonna get you in a submission. So the best thing you can do is just survive the round. But that's the problem. First round, and then you got tired, and then the second round, and then on the fifth, motherfucker was crying. I don't know if you saw that. JDM looked like he was crying, like the frustration.
Just defeated mentally. Bro.
Yeah, defeated mentally, and man, that shows how good Islam is and how good Khabib's camp is. You know?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Double fucking champ, brother.
So that's all we have from today's video, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Share your thoughts on this fight in the comments section, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more interesting video.